y'all. Welcome back. This is a quickie. This is a bonus. This is a need to know, need to say, and I'm going to say it. All right. You see the title, Vote Talk for GA Simplified, because GA is where I live. I am from Philly, but I do not live in Philly. Protect your neck, PA, because Philly is wildin' for the last few years, okay? Not this year, the last few years. And I hope y'all elect who y'all need to elect in order for them to take care of that. In the meantime, I'm Shan. What's up? Y'all know I'm not into politics that deep, but I do want y'all to know the basics, okay? A lot of people don't understand the levels of government. They don't understand the different people and titles and what they do and what that means. And I just want to give you some ideas and some clarification of why it's important to vote, who you may be voting for, and what are your options and how you can get prepared. Now, personally, voting was never something that was stressed in my household because my mom didn't become a U.S. citizen until I was about 22. And she was born and raised in Jamaica. Jamaica has its own politics. Always had a political issue. My dad, the same thing, born and raised in Jamaica, was in a lot of real conversation about voting here in America. Now, fast forward, I'm an adult now. So there are things that I want. There are things that I want from my kids, for how my community is, my environment, the cleanliness, the availability of the stores, the agriculture, the jobs that are available to me, the laws set in place to keep me safe, and all of that jazz. So my thing is, if you live in America and you care about being safe, you care about having options, you care about where you shop, and you care about where you get your money and how you make it, you should be voting. Okay? No matter if you feel like it's going to make a difference or it's not, just knowing that you did vote, that you did make an effort to pick someone who you felt that was suitable in your opinion, not her opinion, not his opinion, not your mom opinion, not your daddy opinion, your opinion. It's going to make you feel a lot better, okay? So first and foremost, voting official day is going to be November the 8th. Again, voting in person official day is going to be November the 8th, okay? 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. If you need to take off for that day to go vote, do that. If you need to vote early before you go to work, let your boss know, let your supervisors know. And if you ain't got a supervisor and you work independently because you are an entrepreneur, cool, go vote, all right? Vote.gov gives you all the information you need to know, but if you don't got time or you don't want to look that up, I'm here for you, okay? I'm going to break that down. If you do not know if you're registered to vote, you could go on vote.gov and check if you're registered to vote. Register by October 11th to vote. Again, register by October 11th to vote. I'm especially talking about Georgia. So if you are in California, your dates might be different. If you are in Chicago, your dates might be different. If you are out of the country of the U.S., I'm not talking to you. But information that you can use is these titles and what they mean later on into the show. But let me get Georgia out the way, okay? You can go on the Secretary of State's site and get information about voting. I'm talking about voting for 2022. Make your plan and get it done, all right? What proof of who you are do you need to bring in order to vote? Let me tell you. Okay, you could bring a photo ID to vote in Georgia, a valid passport. Valid means it's not expired, it's not writ, it doesn't look fraudulent, and it's not fake, okay? A military ID is a valid ID. Same thing, make sure that the dates are in effect. A student ID for a Georgia college or school That'll work, okay? A valid tribal ID, okay, for those people of the land. That'll work. A valid employee ID from a government branch. What do I mean by that? It can be a court. You work for the court, a valid ID for that. Or you're in the Army or the Navy or anything like that. That'll work. In-person voting is November 8th. Early voting starts in Georgia on October 17th. So if you want to early vote, that is your option. Everyone has a particular precinct that they are supposed to vote at depending on where you live, okay? That is where you need to vote. Don't just pop up somewhere and say, oh, I want to vote here. No, there is a place for you, particularly, is that a word? I don't know. It is today. Based upon where your address is in your zip code, okay? Mine is right around the corner, just like I said on my YouTube video, right around the corner, not even 10 minutes away from me, and I could go in there and vote and come right back here and get to work or have my coffee. No sweat, okay? We're not doing no voting suppression, okay, this year. We're not. Last time they were voting, that was going on, it took hours for me to vote versus my friends that lived in Atlanta. It took them no more than like 10 minutes to get in and get out. For me, it took a few hours because they were counting on people giving up, young people not wanting to wait and dipping so they can have better numbers of people who didn't vote for certain people. We ain't doing that this year, okay? If you cannot vote in person for whatever reason, there is something called a absentee ballot, okay? And you can use that and mail in your vote or do it online up until October 28th. Why that date? Because the county register's office must get your vote in by mail before polls close on the official election day, which is November 8th. I had to make sure. November 8th is the official date. Early voting starts in Georgia October 17th. Again, I am primarily speaking for Georgia. All right. So the county register's office, if you're doing an absentee ballot, they need it by the 28th of October in order to get it in time before the polls close on the 8th of November for it to be counted. All right. All of that's done. Let's get into some messages and then we're going to hop right in on who is who. What does their title mean? And what does that do for the state of Georgia? All right, y'all. Fall is here. And whether you like it or not, you're going to have to bundle up because I just feel like if summer was as hot as it was, winter gonna be wintering, fall gonna be breezy as hell. Are you prepared? Check out She Gets It Shop with Teespring because they drop ship. That's what I like. All right, get you some hoodies, get you some mugs, get you some long sleeve shirts, get you some sweatshirts. I love sweatshirts. I'm gonna have to pick which one I'm about to cop. I think I'm gonna get me a white hoodie because I don't know, I just like the clean look. But I just want y'all prepared for fall. I want to share a little bit of me with y'all. That rhymes. I think that's a bar. But yeah, check out She Gets It Shop with Teespring. And if you're looking for some Loudmouth Stereo merch, they got their own shop. Okay, Loudmouth Stereo Shop. You'll find all the merch over there. I appreciate y'all. If you're looking for a quicker way to support me, just share the show. Write a review and let me know what you think. Thank you. If you have a business or something to promote or something that you're selling that is great and fabulous and you want more people to see it outside of Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok, go ahead and put an ad here on She Gets It Pod. I'm just saying. Don't sleep on yourself. All right? Now, we are not in 5th grade. We are not in 6th grade. We are not in middle school. We are not in high school. I do not have time to teach you about these different branches of government and how things work in this country. But what I do have time for is to tell you who's going to be on the ballot in my area and what their titles mean and what does that mean around me and how would that affect myself, my family, my environment. All right. So let's just hop into this thing. So on the ballot, you're going to see the Attorney General, the Georgia Secretary of State, the U.S. Georgia District 13 for me, for my ballot. I'm going to see an option for the Lieutenant Governor of Georgia. I'm going to see an option for the Georgia State Superintendent. I'm going to see an option for the Georgia Commissioner of Agriculture. I'm going to see an option for the Georgia Commissioner of Labor. I am also going to see an option for the Georgia Insurance and Safety Fire position. And that's about it for what I'm going to see. And then at the end, when you vote, there's always an option if you're for or against taxes for citizens to pay towards certain things. They put that in at the end. All right. Don't forget to thank the old people that are in there helping with the ballots and voting and stuff. Follow directions. Put your voting card in the right way, in the right slot. Get up out of there and sanitize your hands because there's going to be hundreds of people following you to do the same thing and get up out of there. Do not go in there with a expired ID, running amok, creating ruckus, okay? It needs to be valid, okay? All right, so let's just hop into this thing. The Attorney General, what does that mean to you? What does that do? What do they do? What are their duties, okay? The Attorney General is the top legal officer of the state. For my state, Georgia, they basically advise and represent the legislature, state agencies, and they enforce federal and state environmental laws. So that is who you would be picking to go ahead and handle that. For me, it would be either Chris Carr or Jen Jordan. I think that's her name. So those are my options for that. For the Georgia Secretary of State, they are responsible for administration of commercial code, and that basically is business contracts for that district and that state. Registration of liens on personal property. Okay, there's 3 options for that for me. Brad Referensberger, never heard that last name before, must be special. B. Nguyen or Ted Metz with a Z. Is that Jewish? I think that's Jewish. All right, that is the option for that. Then you have the U.S. House Georgia District 13. That is my district. They basically are over operating budget for that district, and they address state priorities from agriculture development to tax policies. Okay, so if taxes as far as state is taking out more for X, Y, and Z and this and that, and you're just like, who is authorizing this? Is them. That is their position. So I would either pick David Scott or Cesar Gonzalez. Okay. Then moving on down, the Lieutenant Governor of Georgia. This is the person that helps determine which legislation advances to the Senate floor to be debated, and they propose policy changes. So if there are policies in your state that you are not in agreement with, and you just like, who are these people that's trying to push this to make it a thing or back this because it's completely unlawful, in your opinion, You are picking the person who are going to bring certain policies to the floor for discussion. So if you are irritated by what's been brought to the floor in the past in discussion, pick a better person that's going to bring more important things to the Senate floor to be discussed and change positive policies. The options I would have is Burt Jones or Charlie Bailey. Georgia State Superintendent. They basically advise school principals and district staff that work with school board members. As far as your child's education or the children's education around you, you see a bunch of third graders at the park, you talk to them. They talk like toddlers, don't seem like they're getting the best education. I don't know. The person you pick for this is a person that's going to be focused on that. For me, I have Alicia Searcy. Okay. I didn't see any other name along with hers. So I feel like either I vote for her or I don't put a vote for her. That's my option. When there's no one sitting there, is either you vote for that person or you don't put a vote for that person and they don't get count for that vote. That's how that works. The Georgia Commissioner of Agriculture, what do they do? Now, this is very important because this person, once they get into position, they in there for 4 terms. It's a 4-year term, okay? 4-year term. So pick wisely, all right? This person regulates, monitors grocery stores, convenience stores, and food warehouses. So if you go into your local grocery store and you don't like what they're selling, you don't like the food options, you wish there were more healthier things that you could pick from, you are focusing on this person, the Georgia Commissioner of Agriculture. Nikita Hemingway is my option for that. Yes, Ari? Can you close the door? Yeah, I'm almost finished. For the Georgia Commissioner of Labor, what do? Clearly is over some type of work. They create valuable solutions through strategic alliances and community relations. So this is the person that is talking about what jobs are probably available in that area for the people that live in that area, and if something is being done about it to make sure, the wages make sense and people can you stop breathing hard, one, and get off of me?
Okay.
What do you think about voting?
So I think about voting.
Voting.
What is voting?
Voting is basically you pick a person to be in charge of something for the state, so you have certain options.
I will pick.
I ain't say nothing about you picking. You're not old enough to vote. But that's what I'm talking about, so be quiet. So the Georgia Commissioner of Labor, my option would be William Bodie. That is the only person I saw on my ballot that would be an option. I'm not sure if that's going to change. But again, if someone is on there by themselves, it's either I vote for them or I don't vote at all, and it counts as someone did not vote. All right. Georgia Insurance and Safety Fire. Okay, this person right here, are you mad at your rates in this state? Are you mad that you live in Atlanta and the rates for the insurance is going high for all the insurance companies around? This is the person, okay? So who you vote to be in place for that, this is the person. So for me, I have Janice Laws Robinson as my person. I didn't see anybody else that would be listed on the ballot next to her. So it's either I vote for her, I don't put a vote for her. But they are over the insurance rates, the rules for insurance, and they investigate all them people that be trying to have insurance fraud to collect money on their businesses or their vehicles, all of that stuff. All right. So if you're having an issue with the rates for the year, this is the person you need to be talking to. All right. So I hope I informed you as much as you need to be informed. I hope you feel a little bit at ease as to these people's positions and why you would pick them. Please research everyone that will be on the ballot. So when you see the name, it's not on some eeny, meeny, miny, mo, because you don't want to eeny, meeny, miny, mo the wrong person for a long term, because you're going to be paying for it out of your pocket. Your family's going to be paying for it. Your kids' education is going to be paying for it. And not for nothing, whether you send your child to a charter school, public school, or private school, you as a parent need to be teaching your child at home also. You need to be asking them about what they know. You need to be their first teacher, and whoever they go to school with will be their second teacher, okay? Do not completely rely on the systems of this country to go ahead and tell your child what they need to know. A lot of what's being taught and what's not being taught isn't right. As far as our kids, and a lot of history they do not know, and they need to know, especially if your child is of a darker complexion. I'm just saying. Other than that, I hope I gave you guys all the little information you need to know in order to vote. I do understand when it comes to people of a darker skin tone and voting, it's like a touchy subject, because some people are just like, it doesn't matter, and some people are like, it matters because it's always mattered. To me, I'm always been in between about it. I voted some years since I was 18 here, and some years I didn't. My thing is like, do it whether you feel like it makes a difference or not. And depending on what the results is, you'll feel a lot better if the person you wanted to win wins, pertaining to what they're standing for, okay? Because we don't have the right people in positions as far as politics, because a lot of us don't show up and they don't vote. And my thing is like, why are you complaining about what options you have as work or your environment, and what schooling your child gets, and what playgrounds are in place and what stores are in your community if you're not voting? You should have nothing to say. You should have nothing to say about your insurance if you're not voting. You should have nothing to say about what the governor is doing about these potholes in your community. You should have nothing to say about the fact that on the Senate floor they want to debate if it is legal for you to have blue highlighters or yellow highlighters while there's other important things going on outside. Pick the person you feel will do the best job in your favor of how you think and what you would like to see where you live, okay? That's it. I'm done. Peace out.